Dear classmates, in this lesson, we will study together the cultivation techniques of guava, a famous and excellent fruit tree. During the planting process, there are many key techniques that everyone needs to master, but there is one technique that many growers do not pay attention to, even though this key technique directly affects yield and quality. The task of this lesson is the pruning techniques of guava. First of all, let's understand the variety characteristics of guava in Guangxi at present. The selection of the orchard site is crucial for guava planting. It is best to have a greenhouse environment with appropriate high temperature, good ventilation, sufficient light, and convenient irrigation and drainage. Then note that guava has the highest survival rate when planted from March to May. In the early stage of planting, attention should be paid to irrigation, shading, and maintaining relative temperature to allow the roots to grow smoothly. This helps ensure that planting, flowering, and fruiting all occur within the same year, achieving good economic benefits. Guava is not difficult to plant. It has no strict requirements on the soil itself, and the soil pH value is best slightly acidic. The growth temperature of guava, if controlled at 23 to 28 degrees Celsius, will make it grow rapidly. The minimum temperature that the tree can tolerate is 0 degrees Celsius. Therefore, if early marketing is required, additional heating should be provided for the guava trees. First, start learning the shaping and pruning techniques of this fruit tree from its young stage. Pruning of young trees is mainly for shaping, with the purpose of forming and expanding the canopy as soon as possible. Pinch the fruits around the fruiting period to promote seed germination. Pinch and cut the fruitless branches that are 30 centimeters long to make them fruit-bearing branches. In addition, in winter, it is also necessary to prune withered branches, residual branches, fork branches, and diseased and insect-infested branches. For fruit trees, pruning is mainly to control vigorous growth, so as to achieve high yield. Fruiting guavas need to be pruned frequently during management, almost all year round, but it is usually pruned after harvest. A lot of nutrients are consumed during the fruiting period. Timely pruning can save a lot of nutrient consumption and promote rapid recovery. In addition, pruning methods are also different in different seasons. Among them, spring pruning is the heaviest pruning of the year for guava, and the lightest is in winter. Let's first look at spring pruning. Spring is the heaviest pruning of guava in a year, carried out after fruit harvest. When pruning, first cut off the too dense, crossed, and drooping branches, then prune the thick branches with a diameter of more than 2 centimeters, reduce the height of the trunk, and finally shorten the branches to keep the canopy neat and consistent. After pruning, apply fertilizer and provide water to promote the rapid germination of new branches. Next, look at summer pruning. Summer pruning is divided into two types. One is the pruning of fruiting branches. Branches bearing fruit in summer should be pruned after fruit harvesting, but the pruning degree should be lighter than that in spring. After pruning, the overall canopy height should be controlled within 2 meters. The second is the pruning of non-fruiting branches to adjust the production period to autumn. There is a lot of rain in summer, and the plants do not bear fruit, so the height of the shoots should be controlled. When it grows more than 40 centimeters, shortcut it to about 10 centimeters. Of course, autumn pruning should also be paid attention to. Third, autumn pruning. Autumn pruning is carried out after the large-scale fruit harvest, and the degree is lighter than that in summer. At this time, just cut the too long branches short, because winter will come soon after pruning and temperatures will drop to avoid frost damage. When the new shoots are 40 centimeters long, pinch them. In winter, how to handle the pruning? The temperature is low in winter. Usually no pruning is done, just combine fertilization, orchard cleaning and other work to deal with some diseased, pest-infested, and withered branches to avoid frost damage. Dear classmates, now that we know the pruning methods for the 4 seasons, what issues should be considered comprehensively? Can guava be pruned when it blooms in autumn? Improper pruning of guava will cause slow canopy formation, fruit drop, fruit sunburn, quality decline, and shortened economic life, etc. 3 to 6 years after planting, the yield of guava reaches its peak. The yield per mu can reach 5,000 to 6,500 kilograms. After the 7th year, the yield and quality gradually decline. Scientific and reasonable pruning is one of the key techniques to obtain high yield, good quality, and longer lifespan. Here, I would like to remind you to pay special attention to the following issues. First, pay attention to pruning methods. Carry out in June. If heavy pruning has been carried out in spring, slight pruning is enough this time to maintain a large canopy for off-season flowering and fruiting. First, prune the inner branches. Too dense branches and weak branches shortcut the vigorous water sprouts, finally shortcut the strong branches, long branches to keep the canopy relatively neat. Secondly, pinch the new shoots that are 20 to 30 centimeters long and finally remove all flowers and fruits on the tree. In orchards where heavy pruning was not carried out in spring, heavy pruning can be carried out this time. First, thin out the too dense, crossed, and overly drooping branches. Secondly, carry out heavy pruning on thick branches with a diameter of more than 2 centimeters. Reduce the canopy height to within 2.0 meters to facilitate operations such as fruit thinning and bagging. Pay attention to the problem of heavy pruning here. Heavy pruning will renew the canopy. When the new shoots grow to 10 centimeters long, thin out the too dense and branches with unreasonable branching angles, and pinch them when they grow to 20 to 30 centimeters. For flowered branches, pinch them when 2 to 3 pairs of leaves emerge after flowering. Finally, remind everyone, it is best to remove all existing flowers and fruits on the tree when pruning. The off-season yield will be higher. Some fruit growers are reluctant to remove all flowers and fruits, and still leave a part, which will affect the off-season yield. Dear classmates, if you are a guava planting manager, you must master the growth laws of young trees, fruiting trees, and different seasons of this fruit tree, as well as different pruning methods. Do a good job in serving agriculture, rural areas, and farmers, and contribute to industrial revitalization.